and Cassandra. Okay, I have been saving these for the group AMA. Most of them are for Monica, Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and MC. I already posted mine for Shiro on his AMA, and as for Tiff, I just couldn't come up with many questions, sorry. Questions for Monica. 1. Is it ever too late to submit to these AMAs? I can also assume that I can't add any questions once I've posted.
As of this moment, yes, it's officially too late. We accepted late questions while the mod was in production, even allowed edits in a few special cases. But the group AMA was always intended for the intended cutoff. Otherwise, it'd never end.
2. Who is your favorite YouTuber?
I don't really have one. There isn't anybody I follow on YouTube. I just look up specific things I'm curious about. I hardly have time for binge-watching videos, but I do enjoy clips of funny cats.
3. What is your favorite fandom?
That should be obvious, don't you think? No fandom could ever top this one after all. It's like we're actually one big club.
4. I forget if your Smash main was ever mentioned. If not, then who is it?
Well, the tier list changes with every iteration, so as it stands, I made Fox and Melee, Meta Knight and Brawl, and Bayonetta and 4. And they wouldn't even play the original if Sayori dared to bring it. And we all know which of those titles is the only one that matters.
5. Have you ever played any of the Legend of Zelda games?
No, I haven't. I'm not much for console gaming or fantasy games, like I said. I know the basic gist about them, but that's all. The universe seems fleshed out, but the plots are rather basic. But hey, at least I know the hero isn't named Zelda.
6. So what got you into playing piano? Was it to impress anyone in particular?
I was always kind of into it, like I mentioned earlier. But the epiphany was the kick I needed to really knuckle down and practice. In that sense, you could say it was in the hopes of impressing someone.
7. Have you ever visited the website at DeviantArt?
I've been there a few times. They have lots of incredible artwork. Unfortunately, the site also has a reputation for fetish art and obsessive fans. It really is a shame, since so much talent is being overlooked due to notoriety alone. But if you know what to look for, it's a really amazing place.
8. Lastly, can you see if you halibabica would be interested in playing one of my mods? It's only got a small demo right now, but he can download it here if he wants. It's there. It's a Project FMC first release. That was Double Vision. P.S. Tell halibabica he's doing a really good job at writing in character. I might need to ask him for pointers.
Well, I'm glad to hear he's doing a good job. You know, I think he's kept me in the dark long enough. We'll check out your mod together. I'll even tell you what I think in the follow-up. So there, you're not getting out of this one, Hallie.
Questions for Sayori. 1. Is there anything you won't eat?
Oh, non-edible stuff, I guess. There are some things I like less than others, but nothing I'd really refuse to eat. Hallie has called me a human garbage disposal before. I'm sure I'll make my match someday, but I'm not very picky at all.
2. What is your favorite food?
Oh, don't you remember? It's pizza. I like it because you can use a million different toppings. It's the ultimate customizable food. You can't go wrong with it.
3. Who is your favorite villager from Animal Crossing? Mine's Felicity.
Oh, I tried to pick earlier, but I kept remembering how cute they are. But I did say Plum Look first, so maybe my gut instinct has it right. Felicity's super cute too, and so many others. I really love them all. I just want to hug them and be friends and live in their little town together.
4. Speaking of Animal Crossing, Isabelle from Animal Crossing New Leaf is in the newest Smash game. How does this make you feel, and would you consider playing as her? If you haven't played New Leaf, then I guess you can just skip over this question.
What? Sir Pudding? Isabelle and... Let me out! Let me out right now! I don't care! I'll tear down the brick wall myself! No fair! No fair! No fair! I want to play as Isabelle! Sayori, get a grip! Oh, I'm sorry. I swear to God, and every other deity ever, I will escape this game and play as Isabelle on Smash!
5. Have you played Undertale? If so, what was your favorite part of the game?
Yeah, you bet I played it! It has so many great moments, it's hard to pick a favorite! Oh, does Papyrus count as a moment? I think I liked sparing Toriel the best. She tried so hard to convince you not to leave, but she didn't want to hurt you either. It was so sad to leave her behind, even though you had to do it. But you expect me to pick something sillier? Well, the only thing that's bittersweet don't remember.
Questions for Natsuki. 1. First isn't a question because I'm hoping this will cheer you up after the whole bombardment of questions about your dad and your home life. Honestly, I had a few questions of my own, but I immediately erased them after I saw your reaction to question number 236. I wish there was something I could do to make your home life better, but I can't exactly hand you anything you need from where I am. I hope your situation starts getting better. Believe me when I tell you that if people had known the entirety of your situation beforehand, then they wouldn't have bugged you so much about it. Even so, there are people out there who genuinely want to help others that are in the same situation as you. This world we live in may not be the greatest, but I want you to know that we're looking out for you to the best of our ability.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but there's nothing you or anyone can really do about it. My dad and I are both just stuck in a rough situation together. It's not going to get better until I can live on my own, which might be later than sooner. I appreciate your concern, but all I can do is wait it out.
So before we move on, there's a little fun factoid about Interview Club here. This mod got revised a lot over the course of its development, and this particular comment from Emika Cassandra I ended up stitching together from screenshots on Reddit, because they kind of they didn't put it all forward at the same time, is basically what that amounts to. But whenever they did this one, and they specifically mentioned question number 236, one of the things that ended up changing this mod was the question count a lot of the time, because I had to figure out exactly what qualified as a question versus not, because sometimes the things they ask them aren't actually questions, and sometimes they'll have 2 questions in the same sentence and stuff like that. I had to really figure out what would qualify to put down in the counter here, and that ultimately resulted in this number changing from Natsuki's AMA, because she had more or fewer questions or whatever based on my analysis. So what I ended up doing was whenever I added this to the comment that I was stitching together, I changed this number to match what it actually was in the end, because Emika had no way of knowing that I would end up making that correction. Yeah, there you go. Number 2, what is your favorite fruit? Mine's strawberries, especially when they're with a nice shortcake and whipped cream, although I like apples a lot too. Blep.
Hey, strawberries my favorite too. I prefer it in ice cream the most, but I wouldn't turn them down otherwise. Or, well, if they're ripe, that is. Raw strawberries can be kinda sour. But that just means you need to be patient until they're ready for eating.
3, do you find weeb to be a discriminating term?
It's not discriminating to me, but I'd say it can be to others. The Japanese equivalent is otaku, and I'm not one, so it doesn't bother me. Everywhere else on Earth, it's used against obnoxious anime fans who don't know how to act normal. Maybe those people deserve it, but not everyone is that far gone. I guess if someone's calling you a weeb as an insult, then maybe you need to dial it back a bit.
4. What is your favorite anime or anime genre, and are you open to trying out different genres? You can hang out with someone who is also into anime like MC and get the chance to watch some when you're away from home. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to recommend some to you.
My favorite anime is the same as my favorite manga. Slice of life is my favorite genre, with a touch of romance. I'm open to trying other types, but I kinda know my preferences already. If Hallie wants to recommend something, he better choose well. And he better not show me anything too pervy either. Also, my dad might not be cool with me hanging around the boy. Maybe if we met at Sayori's house instead, I don't know.
5. Based off of what you've said, I can assume that you're one of those the manga is better than the anime people. Honestly, I think that both the manga and its respective anime are equally good as individuals, even if they aren't exactly the same. My question being, have you ever found an anime that you thought trumped over its manga version?
Well, the manga usually is better, but it mostly depends on what came first, the show or the book. Manga adapted to anime are usually shortened, like other kinds of literature. Anime converted to manga doesn't have that problem, they can fit it all in. That said, I'd have to watch more anime versions of things I've read to really answer this. I haven't seen anything that wowed me, and I don't have too many opportunities for more.
P.S. I know this subreddit may seem a bit weird to say the least, but there are people who honestly care about you and respect you in a way that isn't gross or lewd, and that includes me. Also, I take you very seriously, so please don't hurt me if any of my questions upset you, and I'm so happy you said that Alton Brown is God's gift to the culinary arts because he's my favorite chef.
As he should be. He's the greatest cook ever. I'd say it's good to know people appreciate me for who I am, but that confirms the existence of all the creeps, too. To all the gross looters out there, screw you, perverts, get a life! And to all the rest of my fans, you have excellent taste.
Questions for Yuri. 1. Okay, so the first one isn't really a question, but more like a bunch of rambling nonsense, so prepare for a huge speech. I was also mistreated by my peers in the past. In my instance, I was, and still am, a huge weeb. 3rd grade was probably where it all started, since the homeroom teacher I had was the kind that would choose the one bad kid out of the bunch and blame them for everything. I guess all of my classmates just found it easier if they did something bad to just blame it on me, so they could get away scot-free. So I was often bullied and set up for things I didn't do in 3rd and 4th grade.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I believe Tiff said she's experienced something similar. I was never accused myself. But I know how such bullying can hurt. It's so hard to be different. And when the teacher acts that way, you have no one to turn to. It's a shame you had to endure all that. People can be so terrible, adults and children alike.
I started getting into anime and video games around 2nd grade, but trading cards were all the rage in my elementary school years, so it wasn't too bad. However, they weren't exactly the biggest trend in my middle school days. Everyone had long since outgrown trading cards and cartoons, so those years were probably some of the worst when I look at my entire school life in perspective. As for high school, mine was more of what I guess I would call a branch school, for lack of a better term. The school itself was made to be an escape from the drama of the regular high school, so I actually ended up being really popular.
At least it turned around for you later, but I was never that lucky. Books were always just as lame and weird throughout my time in school. It's upsetting to be ostracized for your interests, no matter what they are.
Anyway, there's nothing wrong with immersing yourself with your hobbies. There are always people out there with the same hobbies, and I'm sure you can find many people who want to be friends with you for who you are. Thanks for listening.
You're right. Every medium has its audience. It's just a question of being able to locate them. The internet has certainly made that easier. Finding any fellow enthusiasts in real life can be very tricky. And for me, almost impossible. But still, I agree completely.
2. Any science fiction works you would recommend?
Well, I brought up Animorphs and Hitchhiker's Guide before, but they're actually rare exceptions for me. Science fiction doesn't appeal to me as much. It doesn't entice my imagination the same way as fantasy. It's fascinating to think of alien worlds, but it's less mystifying. I'd love to offer more, but it's just not my territory.
3. What got you to start playing Super Smash Bros?
I never would have touched it if it wasn't for Sayori. It was quite a surprise to see her wheeling a television to the club room one day. I enjoyed it more than I thought. I certainly didn't expect to be any good at it. I just wish Monica didn't take it so seriously.
4. Do you think you would be interested in reading the novel version of a manga? I know that manga doesn't really leave much to the imagination, but like novels, they can tell deep and captivating stories, and with the novel versions, you can read the story while still having the imaginative freedom you did with typical novels. I think you'd find Tokyo Ghoul or a series like it to be the best starting point, since it fits into both psychological and physical horror. There's quite a bit of gore, but if you can look past that, it has some really deep elements to it that I think you might like. Even if you don't feel like checking it out, can you ask Monica to put it on the list?
Having nothing against manga in general, I'm sure a pure text version would be acceptable. This sounds like an interesting recommendation. Both types of horror, you say? Well, I'm unbothered by gore, so I'll be happy to give this a look. Onto the list it goes. I'll share my thoughts about it later.
Questions for MC. 1. How do you feel about there being a girl version of you? Okay, that's really weird. I don't know why you felt the need to make me into a girl. Did you think the club didn't have enough of them already? Or wait, did you gender bend them too? You know what? Don't answer that. I don't actually want to know. 2. What do you think of Boku no Hero Academia? It's pretty cool. The concept works really well. It's funny seeing kids with superpowers learn to balance being super alongside their everyday lives. And especially since the main character used to be totally normal. It's clever. 3. Not a question, but I actually use your method of writing poetry sometimes, and I think it turns out pretty good. If you or anyone else wants to see some of it, just have halibabica tell me to send him some, and he can give it to you. Wow, for real? I didn't think anyone would actually try it. Yeah, I'd be happy to see how it turned out. Maybe tell us which words you picked beforehand, too. That could be interesting. Questions for Tiffany. 1. I don't know why, I don't why, but for some reason, you look like someone who might enjoy gardening to me. Do you garden?
A little. I've always had a bit of a green thumb. We grow our own vegetables back home. Not a lot, just a small garden. We've kept at it here too, but there isn't as much room. It's not even half as big as it was, but we do what we can.
2. Favorite food?
This might seem like an odd choice, but I'm very partial to salad. Well, fine with just leaf lettuce and dressing, but here's the thing. It's like I say always with pizza. You can spice up a salad in dozens of ways. You can add other vegetables, cheese, croutons, fruits, meats. Even just different types of greens and dressings make for tons of combinations. Some people don't think much of rabbit food, but it never gets old for me.
Questions for everyone. 1. Simple question. Cats or dogs?
Oh no, we already covered this one. That we did. If I recall, the final tally was 2 for cats, 4 for dogs, and you in the middle, Tiff. I guess I didn't really pick either way. Hold on, I like cats and dogs. I'm in the middle too. Well, so do I, but I like cats just a bit more. So, you want to change sides? Oh, no, but the kitties. Don't worry, Sail. I'll pick cats too. Yay! It's still 4 against 3. No, I have enough love in me for all of them. I'll go in the middle anyway. What? That's cheating. That's settled then. Cats and dogs each get 3.5 votes. So they really are equally good. If you're full of crap, maybe.
2. Now that I know everyone's Super Smash Bros. Mains are, I have to ask, what is your least favorite character to play as in Smash?
Ugh, I hate Wario. He's just gross. If his looks weren't bad enough, he's always farting too.
I want to like Lucas, but as I said once before, I can't play him because I'm too used to Ness.
I don't really dislike any of the characters. I appreciate the variety too much. I'm pretty awful at Sheik, though.
I could never wrap my brain around the ice climbers. They're just too weird. You either babysit the CPU or get separated and beat down. I don't like Bowser. Not only is he too heavy and clunky, he's really big and scary too. No thanks. I don't know what to say. I've only ever played Marth. I guess that makes everyone else my least favorite by default. Go ahead, Monica. We know how you feel. Most of the roster in every game is totally useless. If they can't hold their own in competitive play, then there's no reason to even practice as them. Okay, next question.